Oh, hey, today on the Tom Kelly Show, this is the part of the show that they call the cold open. I'm not just calling it a cold open because it's supposed to snow this weekend. The cold open is where you say what's coming up on the show. But honestly, it's a hodgepodge of topics. The more professional late night shows, what they do is they do the show first and then they record the promos after and air the promos that they recorded after before the show. And then it looks like that they know what they're going to talk about, but God knows I don't. And and it's a show that's so haphazard, I don't feel like splurging to put in disposable contacts. So instead, I just washed my glasses with a little bit of Dawn. That's a very Long Island word. Dawn is how you would say it in American, but on Long Island we say Dawn, and that's the name of a dishwashing solution that cleans your glasses. Dawn. So how about this? Why don't you go out, get some Dawn, clean your glasses, and we will start the show.
The Tom Kelly Show. Everybody, I want you to go to the Tom Kelly Show. I want you all to know about the Tom Kelly Show.
And here we go. Content warning. Spoiler alert. The show is all about getting back to the fun. You are experiencing a late night edition of the Tom Kelly Show. Now, of course, if you're listening to this early in the morning, don't feel pressured to pause and play later at night, but we are recording in what I would call, for some of you, the middle of the night, considering we have a lot of people over 50, over 60, and a few septuagenarians who've been listening. 12:30 at night. What the hell am I doing, people? Honestly, just getting back to the fun. I'm booked at a comedy club on Long Island this weekend as a feature act, though I have my headlining show at Governor's Comedy Club on January 27th. And I'm going to be in Bonkers, Orlando on January, let's make it 19th. Friday, January 19th, Tom Kelly, Bonkers, Orlando. I believe it's called The Corner Room. I'm going to be on a TV show with Mark McEwen, the former CBS weatherman. He's doing something locally and video-y-ish. I don't know. What the hell is a TV show nowadays anyway? I mean, please, I'm doing this video in my kitchen and I look hot. At least for a minute, I'm going to play with some AI backgrounds to see what you think. I put in to the AI. Microsoft has a killer AI, and if you're paying for Microsoft Word, everybody should sign up for this graphic program because it's just powerful. I put in, give me a TV show skyline background, no hosts, as if it were for a late night TV talk show or news show based on Long Island. Please include Long Island landmarks, including the Jones Beach Water Tower, a map of Long Island, or a Long Island duck. And what it is, you know what? And what it essentially gave me is a duck hosting a talk show. It gave me Duck Johnny Carson. So listen, to my friend Steve Berger, who gave us a great chat about how AI is going to take our jobs. Not today, Steve Berger. Not today. So, yeah, I really loved last week's podcast episode. I believe it was 354, where I declared one simple New Year resolution for my personal life and, frankly, this show, which is get back to the fun. Also, I loved last week's show because I essentially picked up two septuagenarian hitchhikers. How many shows do you know? How many podcasts do you know that go driving around picking up 70-year-old hitchhikers and their bikes? Not Tim Dillon, that's for damn sure. Not Joe Rogan, that's for damn sure. By the way, I wish it wasn't so late because I feel bad yelling. Like I want to just yell out, not Tim Dillon, that's for sure. But that might wake someone up. Next thing you know, the woman who lives upstairs will start singing opera at midnight just to spite me. And she's a talented singer. So that would be a beautiful way to be kept awake. what am I doing awake? I was celebrating some good news. First, probably part of why I'm awake is I'm addicted to Instagram right now because we're having incredible success, real success, organic success, and I owe it to you guys here, the podcast folks. You're the core. You're the core. This is for those of you who are just tuning into the show and just wondering why the hell I'm still listening 4 minutes in. This is the Tom Kelly Show, a podcast where a comedian who used to work at a bunch of TV shows owns his midlife crisis, but that's kind of depressing and honestly not where I'm at anymore. I'm on a mission to get my stodgy ass self back to the fun. There you go, back to having fun. That's the slogan. Where's the love? Go to where I'm watered. I don't know. The last two things maybe we'll jam about that later. But anyway, I owe you guys a thank you. I have been growing by about 100 Instagram followers a day. Now, part of that is my own comedic genius. Yes, of course, people. I'm funny. Second, my other genius of doing something I don't necessarily want to do. Or I do want to do, but it's just you feel like, is that the best move for my career? But, I've been doing these Long Island comedy videos, and I've been growing by 100 followers a day, a little bit more. And I am, as of now, at 12:38 a.m. on Friday, January 5th, we are at 25.2 thousand Instagram followers. We hit the 25 mark today. So actually we grew by more than 200 today. So thank you guys. Listen, it sounds stupid, but honestly, one of the things that I think helped put me up was Anne Mary McDonald tagging Courtney Hengler, who is an actress who I mentioned in my TGI Fridays video. It sounds stupid, but we're up climbing. I hate it. I hate the up climbing thing. And the nice thing about this podcast is I can this is the top of the Tom Kelly inverted content pyramid, but it's also a chance where I could talk slower, get to know you guys and whatnot. I'll do a magic mirror at the top of the show just to show you how personal the podcast is. But magic mirrors to Janet, to Marianne, and Diana. I know you guys have had a couple of rough months or a rough month, and you know what? We'll get back to the fun together, friends. I know I just magic mirrored who I magic mirrored last week, but that's the other organic thing about me. I can do whatever the hell I want. I host my own show. But also let's throw in Matt Simpson. I see you. I see Missy Silverman. I see Alyssa Calvo. I see Terry Brown. And I see Lori Weinberg, who listens to the podcast in the shower. So we see you, Lori Weinberg, and your lady parts. I'm getting back to the fun. I probably should add a little more structure at some point, but so there's supposed to be a snowstorm this weekend. I'm working at Governor's McGuire's in Bohemia, so I'll stay at my parents' house, which means I won't have the fancy microphone or the green screens. And honestly, I had so much audio trouble on the last couple of attempts I've had at the show that I felt like I should at least get one good one in the bank. It's funny. I went for a walk this afternoon or this evening I went for a walk this early evening. And I don't know if you can do this in other places, but in New York, I feel like there's just like a smell in the air when it's going to snow. And I kept thinking of the show Game of Thrones. I think it was Jon Snow and all these guys that would say, winter is coming. I always thought, wouldn't it be a little more realistic if we just go, it smells like snow? I could see why they didn't go with that. I didn't go with that. So I'm a little antsy. I'm not even hyper, but I had a cold, and I had a mini cold. I mean, if you're watching on the YouTube version, you could see it looks like I got punched in the upper lip. But I had a mini cold for, I'd say, 24 hours where I didn't have a temperature. I don't know, but something was off. I don't even know if I had a cold. Something was off, and I slept a lot. Then I didn't sleep a lot. And then I drove back to the city late last night. And I just kept eating vitamin C gummies. And then all of a sudden, a lot. And then I woke up at 5 a.m, like, I'm better. Like almost like a cartoon character, like a Popeye eating the spinach, or like a Warner Brothers cartoon. Not, like one of those old fashioned, like, you drink the pill and then suddenly bing, I'm better. And that happened to me at 5:30. And what's weird is I haven't slept. I haven't normally I nap. Yeah, the only podcast that tells everybody I like to nap at 2. Actually, I read while doing my Christmas shopping, there was a book of Yogi Berra quotes, and and I was gonna buy it, but I could just get a list for free on the internet. But one of Yogi Berra's quotes is, "I take a 2-hour nap in the afternoon between 12 and 4." See, and that's funny because he gave a 4-hour range, but I do that. I take the 2-hour nap in the afternoon between 12 and 4. And it's not a 2-hour nap. It's a 20-minute nap somewhere between that time, where I'll just get this feeling of like, all right, gotta go. Also might be that I'm having a medical problem. I don't know. But whatever it is, it generally happens between 2:30 and 4. I need 20 minutes for me. God bless. How am I going to go into a real career again? I don't know. Back to the fun. I have a list. I made a list for things to talk about. It says tease this. Oh yeah. Oh, I have a podcast that I want to do, but I'm not going to waste today because this is one I do need to write out. Tease this. Tell the story about how I got high for the first time in my life at the age of 47. Yes. And yes, America, police were involved. And I could already tell there's going to be about 20 of you texting me and DMing me, asking me to tell the story to you directly. No, you're going to just have to keep listening for the next couple of weeks, and we'll see where we get. By the way, people, if you notice today, and again, the shows like this on the audio version, the numbers are always consistent, but this won't rate on YouTube. But I'm having fun, and I'll give you one silly thing, because I'll give you a moment of self-growth and sharing one little victory. The 25.2 thousand Instagram followers, does that mean something to me? I'm ashamed to say yes. And what I've been doing is these little videos that I can really do one good town video a week, maybe 2. I should really pre-tape a couple of them and then just edit as we go along. My friend Brendan Amoruso mentioned he would be willing to edit some of them. And I'm wondering, geez, should I get an outside editor to cut together my funny? I kind of am developing a style on my own. But I had a great chat with another comedian last night. I'm not going to say her name. But she's a talented comedy booker and a good comedian. And the hard part that I'm going through, that I think she was going through, was people were offering her more money to book shows than to be on them. And then you start saying, well, will people respect me if I have a day job kind of related to the business? And, we had our friend Ray Goots on the show who said, well, he felt he wasn't respected as a comedian because he managed the world famous Caroline's Comedy Club, now out of business because those sons of bitches barely booked me. We have me talking about, was I ever really respected as a warm-up comedian? Because, hey, you're opening for TV shows, you're teaching people how to clap. And I kind of had a revelation working through my problems while talking to my friend about hers, is at the end of the day, nobody's going to respect you. Go get the check. And it's funny. I hope this friend is listening to the podcast today. You know who you are. Send me a text if you are listening. But I came to this other revelation of, you're right, nobody's going to respect me for being the warm-up comedian, but you know what? I got money in the bank. I survived the pandemic, yes, I'm not the starving artist who's sitting on the corner of the beach, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's going to respect you. So go have fun. There's your takeaway for the day. So anyway, and I think my friend Mark Epstein will understand this. Our friend, anybody who knew me in college will understand. I loved making little videos and putting them on our closed circuit cable access TV station, QCTV, now known as Q30. And, the humor was especially local, and it just felt organic and fun. And I hate to say it, that's what I'm doing with Instagram while making fun of my hometown. And it's weird because I can get that, like, what was nice about doing stuff in college. And again, it sounds crazy to explain this as I record a TV show in my damn apartment on my phone. We would basically put a VHS tape into a VCR, and that VCR was pumped to channel 30 in the dorm rooms. That was my Instagram. And I was addicted to it. And I would, it's funny. Addicted to it. We'll get to the word addicted in a minute, but it did bring me joy. Being able to produce something funny, something original that resonated with the people around me, that may have even challenged the norms of the people around me. And to know that I was pushing the buttons also made me feel good. So thank you for support. Anyway, the moral of the story is you're not going to make anybody happy. And the big profound thought I had was, Amy Schumer, $14 million in the bank. $14 million in the bank. A comedian's comedian, kind, always says hi when I see her. There are people who call her a hack. So, you know what? I mean, at this point, the woman hosted the effing Oscars. And there are people who will say, she's a hacker. You know what? There you go. You know what? She's got $14 million in the bank, and she's got $14 million in the bank, and she still has critics. So no one's going to respect you. Go do what makes you happy. Which brings me to a joke that I don't know if I want to put on Instagram, and that's where I could use your help, audience. By the way, we do need to name the Tom Kelly Show fans at some point. We really do. I'm going to air... Oh, I don't have the board hooked in. I could hook the board in. Let's hook the board in. Quick. So again, this is me having fun, reaching for the cord, and I will not edit this part out. Or maybe I will because the cord is over here. By the way, I should start singing that every time the opera lady starts singing. Like she'll be like, oh, and I'm like, I can't find the chord. Here we go. Ready? And go. I'm at the drugstore. I've been in a car for 2 hours. I'm taking a pill that makes me pee. There's an out of order sign on the men's room and the women's room. So I'm either peeing here or peeing in the parking lot. What would you do?
Hey, what do you know? It turns out it was working.
Out of order signs don't filter out shoplifters and drug addicts. They just filter out nice people who just might pee their pants. So hopefully that all went through the board. So here's the premise of the joke is, or here's the question for the audience is, so what happened was, I guess I played the setup. I had to pee. I went to the drugstore, and I know it's because of shoplifting, and it's because of their probably drug users doing drugs in the friggin' drugstore. But I had to pee, and you know what? Not letting me pee is not giving me the most basic of human services. Okay, I listen. Let me own whatever privilege let me mail Karen this. I had to pee. And it's like, what do I do? Do I whip my dick out in a parking lot where I will feel like a child molester, or will you let me be a human being and pee in the toilet? So the question is, can I pee in the toilet? And will that turn people off? Did that just turn you off? Are you still listening? But I do need to re-record that last end. I want to re-record that ending. Out of order signs do not filter out drug addicts and shoplifters. Wait, 3, 2, 1, go. Fake out of order signs do not filter out drug addicts and shoplifters. All they do is take nice people who have to go to the bathroom and make them pee their pants. There you go. And then I'm going to put that in at the end of a friggin' TikTok, And maybe I won't, because you're going to tell me, Tom, we really don't need to hear actual sound of you urinating. Again, I don't know. Are bathroom jokes getting back to the fun? I feel like I'm alienating my target base, but I'm getting back to the fun, and that's the mission of the show. So, all right, 20 minutes. That was the goal. I actually have so much more I want to talk about with you guys, and I hope you'll hang on with me for the journey. Every Monday and Wednesday, I will have a podcast out on the podcast app. I'm not quite sure when I'll release the videos. I'm trying to figure out if doing the live as a group is really worth our time. Maybe there's better ways we could spend time together. Is that fair? I do like doing the YouTube version because I think there's a bunch of you who find me attractive, and I get off on that. And most importantly, folks, if you're on YouTube or Instagram, leave a comment, leave a smiley face, just leave something to say you were there, and be kind to each other. I hate to say it, but the Tom Kelly Show secret fan group is a little bit of a support group right now. Actually, hate to say it's the wrong word. I'm glad to say it. The Tom Kelly Show secret fan group is a little bit of a support group where we have good people who've had a rough month pouring out, supporting each other. All right. And it makes me, that's when you get into the whys, that's one of my whys. All right. Show love where love can be. God, you know what? What kind of a podcast is this when I can't even get my own final tagline in? Show love where love can be shown. And I will see you next time. Tom Kelly Show on Instagram and on TikTok. Good night, Astoria.